Hey everyone, and welcome to this webinar to take you through the integration between Intacct and Salesforce. So my name's Hannah Monroe, MD of ITAS. I'm also an accredited Intacct consultant and a Salesforce accredited administrator. But the primary aim of this particular presentation is actually to take you through how the Intacct integration works. So without further ado, let's get started. So the Salesforce connector is actually built by the Sage Intacct team themselves. So one of the benefits of that is obviously it's covered under the Sage Intacct Buy with Confidence guarantee. It works with a wide range of Salesforce modules, including obviously the traditional Sales Cloud, which is your opportunity management, but it also covers things like contracts, CPQ, and one of the benefits of it, it's one of the things I want to talk about initially is that actually it doesn't sit on the same platform. So a lot of people think, oh, is it actually sitting within Salesforce? No, it doesn't. And there are some real benefits to that, which we're going to talk about as we go through. So the idea behind the Sage Intacct Advanced CRM integration was about supporting all configurations. So the idea is that as you grow, you will adapt your Sage Intacct configuration and you will adapt your Salesforce. So the idea is that this can be used across multiple different configurations. It does give you the ability to tailor, which we're going to look at, and it does support multi-currency, multi-entity environments. Sage themselves have a brilliant relationship with Salesforce, and particularly the Intacct team. So they are obviously a gold registered partner. And as part of that piece, they do work incredibly closely to ensure that it's compatible with all Salesforce upgrades. So the first point is that obviously the CRM is actually a managed package on the Salesforce platform. So the great thing about that is obviously it is upgradable and so can receive enhancements. It allows us to create custom objects and components within Salesforce, and it does not count against your org limits. And obviously, the Sage Intacct team go through all of the Salesforce security reviews as part of the process. They obviously get early access, so they can ensure that with any new releases from Salesforce that they can maintain compatibility. One of the questions we get a lot is this just a sync? So a lot of other systems out there have a bit of kit that sits in between the accounts and Salesforce to actually sync it across. The bit to remember about this particular integration is it's not, okay? It is a specific real-time integration, and the data does sit and gets updated immediately in multiple directions. There are some specific fields that are created within the system to allow this, but the thing I like about it is that it's instantly visible. So you can look at any record in Intacct and actually see whether it's synced or not and any issues with that. They do have a lot of the questions we get around, well, what does that mean in terms of API consumption, etc. So they have actually made it very efficient. So they either for large operations they'll use the bulk API, but they've actually got a smart sync capability that only pushes things across when they've changed. Yeah, so if you go into an account and just update, but it's non-Intacct relevant material, it doesn't push across. And again, we don't have any nightly synchronization jobs, so you're not waiting for the two systems to align. Intacct is all about real-time information, real-time reporting, so that just wouldn't make sense for the product. So it's all real-time information. So just to be very clear, so we get this a lot, so it is certified for both Lightning and Classic, so it doesn't matter which version you're using. Obviously, I think at this point, most people have migrated onto Lightning, but it does actually have compatibility with both. And we can actually sync a number of different objects across in terms of Salesforce. One of those big ones is contacts. So we can sync contacts across from both systems. We also sync across things like accounts, opportunities. We can also sync across contracts if you're using those modules in Salesforce and in Intacct. And it allows you to view information in both systems, so you can see that information from both sides. We do have, and I have to say, this is one of the big benefits. So the way that the users are managed. So once you purchase the package, there's a special user license that you have for CRM. So you don't have to necessarily pay for every for an Intacct user. for every single Salesforce user, you can actually share that information without having to incur that cost. And it is literally a 2-minute setup piece. You don't have to worry about having complex Salesforce permission setups either. So having used financials in the past, creating and limiting access to entities or particular areas, you don't have to worry about that because it is 2 completely separate systems. So your Salesforce permissions are based off your control all of your CRM side, and obviously your Intacct piece covers that. We also, and I think this is one of the more powerful features for those that haven't come from a financial background. So if you've used any of the other modules out, accounting modules, or had to build custom integrations or get a developer to do it in most cases, Intacct has ability to actually do mapping for you. So you can map fields across. We've set up a couple now. So actually setting up the integrations, it's a little bit time consuming, it takes a day or so to do, but actually you can tweak it as and when you go. So you can map fields across from both systems. And again, this can be, managed as you grow. So if you add new fields, it allows you to tailor that across both systems. So it's a really flexible system and allows you to have some measure of control without having to be a real developer, code heavy person to be able to tailor the integration to suit you. So for those of you that are techies and want to be able to do more, so just as a note, they do have some advanced developer capabilities you can use, and obviously Sage Intacct itself has its own API as well. So there are some things that as a developer you could take and you can run with and create all sorts of wonderful things. But I just like to emphasize for those of you that aren't coders and are just simply Salesforce admins, you have the capability to manage and tailor the integration as well as the organization develops. So one of the good things is not only do we sync sort of the core objects, but we also manage some of the minor objects across. So things like products, projects, departments, dimensional values are actually shared across the systems. So you don't have to maintain those in both, which is a real advantage. A lot of integrations don't actually do that for you. So you can often get errors, and maintaining that becomes a real challenge for some people. So just to be very clear, it does actually maintain the required fields, and you can see a list here of the items that it actually maintains in both systems.
And one of the other things that the Salesforce integration can give you is the integration with contracts. So when you create an opportunity, that can be converted to a contract, and then a Sage Intacct contract can be created off the back of it. And then underneath that contract, you can sync the invoices, the payments for those invoices, and see all of that in Salesforce, as well as processing it through Intacct. So it's a really exciting integration, particularly for subscription-based businesses. I will also mention the fact that we do have an NFP integration for those not-for-profits that are using Salesforce. We have a journal-based integration that we can leverage as well, so which is quite exciting. So again, we support the full range of integrations, opportunity to invoice, opportunity to contract, and opportunity or donation to journal as well. So very exciting. And last but not least, we also have, which was released in literally in 2021, is the statistic journal integration. So from an opportunity, when you push that opportunity through and that transaction through, you can actually link in statistical information. So for instance, you can pull through opportunities won, opportunities lost as part of your reporting and dashboards in Sage Intacct. So the capabilities of the system and what you can do with it is incredibly powerful, and that is just what is available now. So obviously the Salesforce integration is a key part of Sage's strategy, particularly with Sage Intacct, and that is continuing to develop. So if you have enjoyed this quick overview of the 10 reasons to consider the Sage Intacct and Salesforce connector, please continue to look through our website. We have a huge amount of content, particularly on the Salesforce integration. It's actually one of the areas we specialize in as a Sage Intacct partner. So we've got overviews of the opt to invoice workflow, the opt to contract workflow, and of course the NFP workflows as well. So you can actually see the integration in action. So thank you so much for listening. If you'd like to find out more about how we can help, of course, visit our website, www.itestsolutions.co.uk, and download the ultimate guide for Salesforce administrators to the Sage Intacct integration, which literally has everything that you as a Salesforce administrator needs to know about how the integration works. So please jump on our website. We actually have that available as well. If you have any questions, please do leave comments we monitor all the comments on our YouTube channel. Ask questions, go onto our website, look at all the blogs and videos that we have there as well. And of course, if you have found this useful, it would really help us if you liked this video. So thank you so much for listening. Take care. Speak to you soon.